Okay, so welcome to our final class. The month has flown. It's been a lot of fun. Class number 4 of our first official class in UCO in English. Pam named us Team Ingles, right?
Yeah, which technically in Spanish, I think you're supposed to put the adjective, supposed to be in reverse, right?
Equipo, right? It would be
The
equipo
English,
English,
yeah.
but it's okay. It was Spanglish. It's all good.
Yeah.
So we are happy to be here. This was we should feel accomplished. Today, we're going to talk about unforeseen events or occurrences. Unexpected circumstances that happen without prior notice can't be predicted or planned for in advance. They can disrupt or alter our normal course of activities or plans, and they usually require a quick and adaptive response to manage the consequences. So some examples are a mechanical breakdown in the car, sudden illness of ourselves or a family member, terrible problems with electronic equipment, especially now that we depend on our computers and things so much more, or our cell phones, extreme weather changes, which is happening all over the world, family emergencies, a death, things like that. And so they can range from minor inconveniences to more serious emergency situations, but the ability for us, we cannot prevent them from happening, but our ability to handle unforeseen events is a valuable skill in our personal life and also in our professional lives, to be able to pivot. There's some people, when something unforeseen comes, it happens, they're paralyzed. They get stuck. They just have they panic and they have no idea what to do. And some people pull the covers over their heads and it's like, I'm just going to wait for it to go away. But we want to be able to manage our unexpected events, because that's how we can if we manage our emotions, because they have a serious emotional impact on us, right? So some common emotional impacts. How do unexpected events affect us emotionally? Number one, stress and anxiety, right? Uncertainty and the need for a quick response can generate high levels of stress and anxiety. Number two, frustration. It disrupts our carefully organized plan. Some of us are very organized and we are planners. But when something happens and it throws that schedule off, it leads to frustration because it's like we're losing control. Also, it causes fear. A family emergency, health issue, someone ends up in the hospital, a terrible illness, whatever it is, it's family, it's a loved one, it's a friend. So now we're in fear of what will happen, what's in the future, what's coming down the pipeline. Another thing, exhaustion, right? It can be emotionally and physically exhausting dealing with these unexpected things because it consumes time and energy. Again, we're over here and we have to pivot and attend to this emergency that has happened. Another reaction is sadness or disappointment. So an unexpected event involves the cancellation of important events, a loss of opportunities. It could be we had goals to do this, take this trip, do this thing, and now there's a family emergency and we can't go. Or we were there and now we have to cancel our plans and come back. So it's like, oh, the disappointment of it all. But on the other hand, a very positive thing that can come from it is resilience. I love the word, and in Spanish it's resiliencia. I just love the word in English and Spanish. It's facing and overcoming unexpected events because it increases our ability to adapt. We by facing them, the unexpected events, we develop resilience because we learn to adapt to adverse situations in the future. We can get through this successfully without fear and being paralyzed. And then the next event, we can handle it better. We can face it. And so the emotional impact of an unexpected event depends on as well social support, right? If it's available, previous experience with similar situations, like, oh, when that happened before, we did this and that worked. Let's do it again. and we learn coping strategies so that we're not stuck and paralyzed in fear or pull the blanket over our heads and hope that it just goes away. We can manage our emotions while we're managing these unexpected events. So some people don't feel like they need to prepare for unexpected events. They take it for granted. Some reasons, excessive optimism, like, oh, everything's going to work out. Lack of experience. They've never experienced it, and they don't realize the importance of being prepared. Denial, confidence in their adaptability, culture and education, right? Some cultures and education, people from different backgrounds, there may not be sufficient emphasis on the importance of planning and preparing for unexpected situations. They just one day at a time, we'll just take it as it comes, right? But being prepared as we can help. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Some people have limited resources, so they can't. So they prioritize immediate needs over long-term planning for unforeseen events. All they can handle, they have a cup of rice today. They can't think about having a bag of rice for if there's an earthquake stored away, because they just don't even have the possibility. Some people are procrastinators, so they postpone the task that could lead them to being prepared. And by the time they want to do it, it's too late. And lack of knowledge. People simply may not be informed about the benefits of preparing for unexpected events and the strategies that can effectively do that. You say, but it's unexpected. How can I prepare? Well, here we go. Several ways. We hear this all the time financially. Create an emergency fund. I talked about that in the live last week. Saving money to cover unexpected expenses, home repairs, medical emergencies, a job loss, a car repair, the car breaks and you're like, how much with the mechanic? You're just hoping that it's something that you can handle. So most financial experts say if you could save between 3 to 6 months of essential expenses, not the, oh, I'm going out to dinner and I need to do this and buy something at Macy's, but for the basic expenses, your rent or mortgage, your bills, your light bill, your car, the insurances. If we have 3 to 6 months saved as an emergency fund that only gets touched when there's an emergency or, something with the car or we lose our job, how could that help us manage our emotions? Well, we feel less anxious when we have these unexpected events. There's a calm. It's an inconvenience. It's not necessarily something that's going to break the bank because, oh, I have the money set aside. Have an emergency plan. Develop plans for different types of emergencies, such as natural disasters, medical emergencies, financial crises. Make sure all the family members are familiar with the plan, right? The slave tells us that to have our go bag, right? I know here, I imagine all states have it. I know here they have like evacuation places. There's one about 10 minutes from here. So if there was ever a flood or something, we go to that particular area. Keeping important documents stored away, our IDs, insurance policies, financial documents in a safe and, if possible, fireproof and waterproof safe place so they're accessible and they could be protected in the case of natural disasters. Getting adequate insurance, home insurance, health insurance, car insurance, life insurance. It's something, especially here in the States, health insurance can be so expensive if our job doesn't provide it. But a lot of people go into serious debt when they don't have insurance and they have medical emergencies. Sometimes it bankrupts them because it's so expensive. This is a good one on our car. To prevent unforeseen events, we can perform regular maintenance. Take it, consistently to the mechanic so that he could work on things while they're small instead of taking it when it's a big job and it costs more money or takes more time. Another really good strategy is to develop problem-solving skills. When we can look at a situation and work it out in our minds, we can work as a family or with the people on our job and talk about how can we work this out, decision making, stress management to effectively handle unforeseen situations because they're bound to, the guarantee is that they're going to happen. but how will we handle it? But if we have good problem solving skills, we develop them, then we can handle them. Establish support networks. We all need our people, our team, our group of people that we can depend on, family, friends, neighbors, right? In the case of an emergency, people need people. So we can't go it alone. And being active in a community can be helpful for giving assistance, but also receiving it when we need it. Preparing emergency kits, the go bag, flashlights, batteries, warm clothing, medications, food, water. The slave has also told us to have a cabinet with even canned goods in case of emergencies. We could get some training, right, in first aid, disaster management. We can do financial planning, maintain a budget, regularly review our personal finances to ensure that we're in a good position to handle unexpected expenses, because we may have enough for the expected expenses, but do we have the emergency fund, or do we have another little cushion to the side so that when things happen, we don't have to panic because we have it right there. And reduce stress and anxiety. Knowing that you're prepared for the unexpected situations can significantly reduce the stress and anxiety associated with uncertainty, because stress and anxiety is like the forefront. The majority of people have it, especially anxiety, and we want to be able to try to calm it. Depression is an excess of the past, and anxiety is excess of the future. So anxiety is worry about what will happen, what if, and what if that happens? But when you ask yourself that question, what if this happens? You say, okay, but I have this in place and I have that, right? And it can help calm us. And another uh, benefit is fewer interruptions in our daily life, because when you're prepared, you minimize those disruptions and you can quickly return to normalcy. It's a quicker recovery. We're able to improve in our decision making, increase our resilience, that beautiful word. We have peace of mind. Knowing that you're prepared provides peace of mind and a sense of confidence as well, and overall quality of life and emotional well-being. The anxiety, if you're an anxious person, it happens anyway, but then you can, okay, but if in case that may never happen, but if it does, I have this, right? You can talk to yourself, but it takes being prepared. And then of course that's support. And if this happens, I know this person can help me with that. And that person can help me with this, right? Having our dream team in our minds so we know who we can call on. Everybody has different capabilities, different gifts, different qualities. And this person may be good in this emergency situation, but this person is better in this situation, right? So preparing for the unexpected provides a safety net that protects us against the negative impact of unforeseen events, improves response and recovery capabilities. We want to be able to respond to it, head on, and then to be able to recover where we're not out for the count for 6 months, can't handle life because an unexpected event happens. And then it contributes to a stronger overall well-being. It's exciting stuff. And again, the word is resilience, because if we can come through things, face it as it comes, and then recover. The way I look at it is there's wind, and we put our head down and we're walking in that direction. The wind is coming against us, but we're still moving forward because we think ahead, and it benefits us and those around us. It's a really good thing. All right. I'm going to stop the recording. This is our last class. For those who are seeing this in the future, sending big hugs.